Hey guys, what's up? Um, this is TSDL, round of 64. Clee Mami versus Hakeem Olajuwon. I probably terribly butchered that pronunciation, but sorry. One moment. Okay, sorry. Looking at the boxes, Hakeem, I'll just call him Hakeem. Running a fair amount of debuff, but there's no rain. But there is Ren, Liko, Bozel. Creamy just immediately opts to ban all the healers. Also on Hakeem's side, there's no Himiko. Or Kruger. Oh no, never mind. Hakeem has Weiler. So yeah. It's pretty safe for you to just let all your healers get banned. Weiler's also going to be pretty good against debuff. Florentia less so. Hakeem knows that he's running a more debuff focused box. So stuff like Rosin gets banned, Liana gets banned as well. And that's actually, excuse me. Clee Mii Mami's only 2 healers. He has Licorice, who will be solid against debuff. Particularly if she's Bracer. Clee Mii Mami does have Sophia as well, but Sophia will be pretty lackluster against these debuff AoEs. Still, she can set up stuff. And yeah, Clee Mii Mami opts to pick Licorice. We're probably going to see Sophia get banned here. Hakeem wants to just ban out all the healing. That's why he targeted Dog. That's why he targeted the 2 healers. Yeah, Weiler is... he's still pretty good. He's definitely fallen off a lot. There's a lot of long leg AoE that can reach him, which makes his 3C extremely difficult to use. And even if you do use it, you have to use it like turn 1, and then you need to go very fast after that. But Weiler can still be ran with Tactical Retreat, Mass Heal, Dispel. He'll still be a solid AoE healer. Licorice from Hakeem's side is... you maybe didn't need to go with the Licorice. You still have Rachel Deedlit in your box, so there would have been 3 healers. Clee Mii Mami wouldn't have been able to ban out everything. Even T-Jess can provide some off healing. But maybe Hakeem wanted to pick Licorice to get tile control. And the Reen. Once Reen lands an AoE on what's left, there is Deedlit, but then on Hakeem's side, then you're going into a very defensive composition. You will get one of Listel, Ren, and Shelf. So you can still get one more DPS even if you pick Deedlit, but Deedlit doesn't do very well against Hilda. If Hilda stays green and she brings Crystal Molders, then your Deedlit has a 30% chance to just die attacking Hilda. Never something that you want, and you can just opt to not even go that RNG route and just turn Hilda into a cavalry unit, and then Hilda, or Deedlit, cannot do anything to Hilda. She will pretty much just kill the troops, maybe, because Hilda can also run Templar Knights. And so we see Oldius, who will do a good job at zoning this Deedlit, but if you have Hilda, then the D-Lit probably wants to bring heavy infantry anyway to make attacking as safe as possible. So it's not zoning too much, but yeah, Creamy opts to ban the Shelf and the Ren. So Listel will be impacted by the oldest tiles unless Listel runs Demon troops or green troops. It looks like a very strong debuff composition from Creamy Mami, no matter what you get. You can go Giz for some sustain and outlasting, or you can go Kruger to just pile it on. I think Listel's going to have difficulty reaching the enemy team, and she also will probably be fighting a Bracer Reed. We don't know if Lico's Bracer or not, but if she is, then you would feel very safe against a Listel. Blood Dance is her main threat. No peeking. Okay, so win conditions. Hakeem's best win condition is just going for outlasting Creamy Mami's team. With picks like Weiler, Licorice, and D-Lit. That's pretty much what you're going for. You're using Gospel to prevent the nastiest debuffs on your more frail units. Weiler can provide long-range dispels. And Liko, she'll have to be in the fray, so she's a good Gospel target. On Creamy Mami's side, the win condition is pretty clear. You are going to try and debuff the crap out of them. You have Reen, Gizaroth, Licorice, and Kruger. So there's a lot of AoE coming, but Hakeem, on the other hand, has the tools to deal with it. Still, there's no strong way to bust Hilda, other than wearing her down. Or sorry, it's not Kruger, it's Reen, Gizaroth, Oldius, Liko. In an endgame, Gizaroth will be really strong, but versus Hilda, his construct, AoEs, and debuffs won't do that much. It's a little bit of a combo, but not too much. He's mostly here to provide buff and allow Oldius to run multiple skills. Round 1. Fight! I did not quite catch Weiler's skills. I did see that he's running Tactical Retreat. I would like him to be running Tactical Retreat, Mass Heal, and Dispel here. You don't really need 3C, it's a purely AoE comp. And he did opt to run 3C. Bringing Demonic Guard on Listel is interesting. I don't think you need to do that. And Listel did bring Flyer Troops, so she's going to be impacted by these Oldius tiles. Not a Bracer Liko. On Hakeem's side. Yeah, Oldius brought Thunder Dragon Breath. It works well with the combo, but then it's going to be hard to get Light Array up to prevent Listel from getting in. Creamy probably doesn't want to transform just yet. I guess it depends on how Hakeem moves. So maybe Sabrene's action for last. With Reen, it's very important to transform when you have the engagement. The only other reason to transform is that you need the damage reduction to potentially take an assassin or something. Giz should probably summon his construct first. You would rather have, you get more out of having another renovation on the construct than you do using his faction buff first. You only would use Gizarof's faction buff first if you were getting rushed and you need to get it off immediately, potentially for survivability reasons. And let me know if my audio is good. My music might be loud, so I can turn it down if it is. Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Weiler with just tactical retreat. That kind of incentivizes. There, that should be better. And thank you, Sui. Weiler not having mass heal, dispel, tactical retreat. It means that he has one burst of healing with tactical retreat, and then he won't be able to remove a lot of debuffs after that. Weiler versus Cry'B Mami's composition can stay out of range. He can just stay really far back and just constantly keep healing his team. He won't be threatened by the AoE debuffs, and he can just keep removing them and let Hakeem's team outlast, which is the biggest thing Hakeem's team needs to do. Because Listel, with her heal reversal, is a big win condition for Hakeem. It's just she's a little slow, especially... Well, no, there's a Hilda on Hakeem's side, so Uldius push won't work, but it will limit her mobility significantly. I think Construct could probably attack Listel there, break rights. Weiler doesn't have an easy means to heal. And if you're gonna bring Demonic Guard, no Blood Dance, eh? Yeah, that's one of the problems. The other thing is, if you're gonna bring it, you might as well use it here so you could counter the Construct. And then maybe she could counter kill the Constructs and prevent that. But Hilda comes up to block anyway. Dispel, mass heal, attack retreat with Weiler versus like this kind of comp, yeah, it's pretty good. Weiler is definitely not bad, and he also brought Shrine Maidens. There's not really any physical AoE to threaten him other than Reen, but Weiler can pretty easily remain out of Reen range, so you want to bring Forest Priest. You definitely want the additional debuff dispel. And did Deedlit even bring Gospel? She Gospeled Liko, but Liko already moved, so now... No, she didn't Gospel Liko. She brought 3C. Deedlit brought 3C. I think Deedlit here should bring Sea of Miracles, Gospel, and Elven Aura. You want the additional healing for the rest of your team. Heal block on Listel. A little annoying. 3C on Deedlit just doesn't do too much here. Hilda swapped into a Cav. You can't really bust her, and the Gospel would have been really nice for preventing debuffs. I assume she's running Sea of Miracles 3C. C on Deedlit is something you pretty rarely run. You'd mostly want to run it. There's the consideration with Juggler, where you might not want to overwrite his water with Elven Aura. And the other thing that it lets her do is trade very favorably with the 3-tile retreat. It also does a little bit more damage than Elven Aura. Yeah. So, Hilda gets 20% damage against cavalry. And then she procced Thorns. The Unicorns didn't do very much to the Crystal Molders, so it was mostly D-Lit just hitting into that. And then it's 80% damage reflection, and D-Lit's gonna hit those Crystal Molders very hard, and so she gets counterkilled. If you brought heavy infantry, it would be different. The heavy infantry would kill the Crystal Molders first, and then D-Lit would be hitting into Hilda, which is infantry versus cavalry. And I don't know. There's still a chance D-Lit dies there, even because Torrent's procced, but it would definitely be a lot more safe. And frankly, with the composition Hakeem has, it's Listel and Licorice. Those are your DPS. Going in with D-Lit doesn't accomplish anything. D-Lit needed to stay around to support. She needed to spread gospel. She needed to use Sea of Miracles to counter some debuff application. There's no way you're going to bust a Hilda with what you have. So you need to go other routes. Take the center, outlast, use Listel and Liko combo to try and score something, and Listel bringing Demonic Guard really hurt that as well. So I think Hakeem's comp did have a chance. It's just some skill selection needed to be tweaked, and D-Lit attacking Hilda there is not a good decision. And now you're 5v4. You lost a really important unit. It's just really risky to attack D-Lit, or attack Hilda with D-Lit. Even this heal reversal doesn't matter too much. Liko doesn't have a buff. There's not a... You're not... And even if Liko had a buff, Mind Bore plus Liko isn't going to kill enough. Oldius just moves here. Liko probably, since she brought Mass Heal, she just puts up her healing tiles. Then next turn, she can transform and use Dark Despair if she would like. The healing tiles, the Listel, it depends. It's RNG because Mindbore puts out 2 debuffs, but Liko's healing tiles do actually heal, or remove debuffs before healing. So it can be a good counter to Blood Dance. And it looks like Hakeem's team is pretty much just going to get AoE'd down. There's Tack Retreat from Weiler, but it does not accomplish too much. It pretty much just stalls the game because there's no longer a solid win condition. Hakeem's win condition here was occupying center first and weathering the storm. And then finding an opportunity with Listel and maybe Liko. You just needed that high burst of fixed damage from Blood Dance to score any kills. And we see that Liko's skill is green. So Cry'I Mii Mami is running Bracer Liko. Which means there's no chance of her getting silenced. The one healer on this comp. Oldie is kind of an off healer as well, and gives his constructs can get a lot of sustain, so the thing is, if you Tack Retreat, which you can't even do right now, but you will be able to after an AoE, which likely is what's going to happen. You pull yourself out of center, then Cry'I Mii Mami just occupies the center, and then you have no chance. So Hilda also bringing War Goddess. Ram wouldn't be too useful here. Hilda on Hakeem's side is immune to mobility down. She's also immune to displacement. War Goddess, on the other hand, prevents D-Lit from getting Gift of Eternal Life heals because it disables weapon skills. So, good choice. Bit of dead air, I'm sorry. There's just not a lot to say. Hakeem's thinking pretty hard here. This does make Dark Despair hurt, but you can just sit here with Liko. Yep, yep. Demonic Advent, the act again, just lets you burn right through the Reaper's touch. So you can use it as a stall move, or you can wait until Liko uses Demonic Advent and then you're going to force her, and it can prevent clocks. Yeah, so he had a chance, I think, if he stalled in mid. Yeah, true. I'm gives a good versus Hilda because he can keep attacking Hilda for free. Puts pressure, and eventually Reen might be able to snipe. Giz is a very complicated unit, that's for sure. He actually has a lot of plays, and what the most skilled thing about Giz is the pick ban, enabling the conditions for him to be good and maybe end up outlasting your opponent. And other than that, it's his buff utility. That's really solid. And plus, he's a person you can get really late. Yeah, pretty much just get into mid, and then hope you can weather the storm, which you're fighting Licorice and Reen with clocks. Liko was going to bring Mass Heal because of the ban pick. You could tell that pretty well. And giving Reen Gizaroff means that you can't outstall Reen, because Gizaroff uses his ultimate construct, and that gives Reen additional turns on his talent, which means you can't just hope that he gets silenced and then you have some turns to regroup. Yeah, even Blood Dance wouldn't have been too effective here because Reen and Liko are Bracer. Yeah, recall. If Tactical Retreat happens, then Liko gets nailed with some damage from the heal reversal, and then Reen can just snipe with the line AoE. Yeah, you lose mid, you just lose. And as we see, Weiler 3C did absolutely nothing this game. And Liko acting again is gonna die too. Yeah. GG. No peeking. Okay. Hakeem's running a really defensive box. You have 4 healers, and you also have D-Lit in your box. I think I saw Rachel too, and Liko. There's not a lot of win conditions other than stalling in mid. Something more offensive would help. Some assassins. You can target the Reen. We see that Clee Mami is also running Rainforce. An interesting choice. But Rainforce is very susceptible to a lot of assassins. That Liko should also be susceptible to assassins. So if Clee Mami would go the same ban pick route of just using Licorice as a healer, and Assassin could be really good. And no backup box changes. Yeah, Rachel, D-Lit, Liko. So there's a lot of healing output in this box. But that usually means you're going to get locked into picking 2 healers. And that sort of ban pick forces you into a position where you have to play a stall game. Standard draws on first bans. Ares gets banned. It's an okay ban. But there's just no assassins on Hakeem's side. This Liko can just go totally unpunished. If you had assassins, Liko needs to be near her allies. Maciel has some range, but not too much. And she also needs to approach the opponent to begin with to hit them with the AoE. The Dark Sphere. And this ban pick's looking like a repeat, even the same map. I think everything has gone... No, Reen did get banned 3rd, as well as Himiko. She is very annoying. Cry'Mee Mami just targeting the heals. I'm gonna debuff you. I'm gonna make sure... Or Cry'Mee Mami saying, I'm gonna debuff you. I'm gonna make sure you don't have opportunities. And probably what we're gonna see out of Hakeem is 3rd pick D-Lit. Seems like he has a more defensive mindset. And the thing is, if you're gonna pick D-Lit, you would much rather fight Juggler than Hilda. If you ban one of Cry'Mee Mami's tanks first, as this is a 2-tank box, probably you'd see Juggler pick, and then D-Lit's going to be a lot more effective against the Juggler than the Hilda. Hakeem needed to get some kind of win con in there. Yeah. T-Jess, kind of a dead pick versus Hilda. There is no Gospel on Cry'Mee Mami's side, so Ren or Balzel look like the choice here. And again, giving Cry'Mee Mami this really good myth comp, and Cry'Mee Mami clicks Sophia, so I assume he's going to pick her. Yeah, T-Jess versus Hilda is so risky. It's not a really solid win condition. Your T-Jess can't safely attack the Hilda. You can't burn her down. Because there's 2 healers on Cry'Mee Mami's side. There's Liko. And there's Sophia. Again, D-Lit is so risky to attack Hilda. And between those 2 single target with Listel, there's sort of a disconnect in strategies here. Listel is an AoE character. She can use Siphon. It's usually only something you'd consider versus compositions with no magic guard. But you Blood Dance, and then Liko Tiles remove the heal reversal. There's no AoE. I guess you'd have to bring an AoE on T-Jess if you wanted to try and capitalize off of what Listel is doing. But anytime you're picking D-Lit, you're probably going to lean more towards a single target composition where you're busting the tank. And that's why Hilda really needs to get banned. Dog could probably not outlast. Supposing you picked up... Well, Hakeem's box is really AoE. That's another thing. There's very limited single target. And definitely if Cry'Mee Mami picked up Juggler, he'd be banning T-Jess. Juggler doesn't want to have to bring Great Dragon Barrier, and T-Jess is just such a long-range threat. So Dog can't safely jump. This time, D-Lit brings Crystal Warlocks. It's really not the move. And she's still bringing 3C. She really needs to be bringing Gospel Sea of Miracles, Elvenora. And Weiler maintains the same skill set too. There is a lot less debuff AoE here. But what this composition looks like to me is that Listel goes in on Ahri, and then Ahri blows up your entire friggin' team. Oldius is here to buff. We see a Tenyo trade, both Hilda's getting Breeze. Not very relevant, usually. It can be. This time Listel brought Blood Dance, that's good. But you saw that this Liko is Bracer. There's a chance this Sophia's also Bracer? No, yeah, that's green skill. So this Sophia's Bracer. There's no chance you're killing the healers. Your Reaper's Touch can go on Sophia. And then there's kind of a funny interaction where you could enable Ahri with Reaper's Touch Sophia. You could like use heal on her and then get double AoE. So maybe we'll see that. That'd be very cute. So if anything, like Ahri getting, or Sophia getting Reaper's Touch here could be a win condition for that Ahri. Because Weiler shouldn't be in range. I guess you won't kill D-Lit. You won't kill Listel. Yeah, third pick is usually around where you want to pick up a win condition. And that's really where your strat gets dictated, because after that it's a lot easier to ban out things that support you. I don't know who that wizard unit is, I forget. T-Jess. T-Jess running wizards. Yeah, no, this T-Jess could die to the Ahri combo. She's also another unit that could play out. T-Jess is another unit that can play really far away. She can teleport in and then engage. Although she doesn't really need to or have to anyway. But yeah, wizards on T-Jess. You have Weiler. And you brought 3C. So you should always be able to have Sorks up. Is this to like try and reduce T-Jess's damage? But that's wrong, because your Sorks need to do a lot of work as well if you want to counter Thorns killing you. Or Crystal Molders even. Like Sorks, if they take out the Crystal Molders, that's less reflect damage on your T-Jess. Realistically, if she's attacking into a full HP Hilda and Thorns happens, she's always going to be dead. After we get the new anti-fixed or anti-Thorns armor. That can change, especially if you're running Holy TJS, because she has more HP. And TJS has moved too far up. If you Blood Dance this Ahri here, then she just moves across the map, and then she just straight up snipes TJS. She doesn't have a buff, but Hilda's guarding anyway, so you just cast buff with Oldius next turn. This Mind Bore is a bit annoying. Definitely a better choice than the Blood Dance. And yeah, Ahri has buff now. Hilda could die to TJS, and she's a bit injured, especially on the Molders because of the heal reversal. TJS doesn't have a buff. Hilda needs to, yeah, Hilda needs to Tensei buff. Blocking Lostelle here. Ahri definitely doesn't want to move. And yeah, he's just gonna heal, and this might enable Ahri. 70%. Exactly. I don't know if Ahri acts again here because I think you need like 69%. Because if you're 70%, there might be some decimal points. And so yeah, I don't think Ahri acts again here. Unless you're on exactly 70%. Which is very unlikely. I could be wrong. And yeah, doesn't Blood Dance the Ahri, knows. But yep. Damn, even that Oldius is fixed immune? That Bracer Oldius? Could be mid-ring. I didn't see his skill. Tenyo on Ahri. Doesn't really matter. She could already pretty much reach everything. But I guess it does, because now she can hit Weiler. But again, I don't know if she acts again here. Liko, though, she can use mass heal, and then it should be okay. Yeah, this Hilda should die. You kill the first life. D-Lit does have the Sea of Miracles follow-up. There's something to be said for maybe transform here to ensure that Ahri gets the act again, but it's probably enough to just AoE anyway, even with the healing tiles. Yeah. Ops transform. Ahri's definitely enabled now. Using Lostelle against Hakeem. Hilda could die here to D-Lit. I wish D-Lit didn't bring Crystal Warlocks. She should have brought heavies, but it's okay. She might let, or even unicorns, honestly, would definitely kill here, but I don't know about Crystal Warlocks. So you can just go for the snipe on TJS here. Tactical retreat, not enabled. Lostelle wouldn't get hit. Yeah. Crystal Warlocks and no attack buff. Chief's Helmet D-Lit is interesting, though. And yeah, here TJS is dead. Lestelle gets hit by the Grand Cross, it does a lot of damage. Even this D-Lit's near death. You can attack retreat Hilda, I think. But it doesn't really accomplish anything because Hilda on Cryii Mii Mami's side didn't die because of the troop choice on D-Lit. Could have brought Wizards, even, on D-Lit, since they're definitely raised. T-Just was running them. But no, I would say run heavies or unicorns. Unicorns are risky. But even if Hakeem kills Hilda here, there's still not a particularly solid win condition after you lose that T-Jess. So D-Lit does get the act again. And Hakeem retreats. He needed to kill Hilda there, but I don't know if it matters much. Reaper such a licorice. Now she can't use Dark Despair without hurting your team. And you can pull away with Tack Retreat, but then you're going to be fighting 5v4. And this is kind of a showcase of how Weiler doesn't do enough. Unlike Rosin, who completely shuts down a lot of picks in a lot of people's boxes. Florentia, who has Act Again plays and even Breeze to give to her allies. As well as Strategic Regroup, letting your unit sustain outside of her range. And then Liana, who has tons of tools to deal with debuffs. Sky Archer Gospel, her talent. And also Act Again. All these things let you engage better. But Weiler is pretty much good defensively. And there's a lot of buff dispel too these days. Like Kruger. Ari is in a fair amount of boxes because she combos well with the Myth faction. And if Desperate Prayer gets hit, it kind of screws your strategy. That's a 2-range hit with Crystal Warlocks. Doesn't do anything. Crystal Warlocks don't do damage. Once T-Jess went down and once Hilda survived, Hakeem basically lost all his win conditions. If this is a Ragnarok Ari, that Weiler should be dead. If not, I think Weiler can tank. And Oldius can't reach, so I assume it's not a Ragnarok Ari. Damn, even this Ari has green skill. There's no way that's Bracer, right? Okay, I don't know why she had green skill. That's weird. Oh well. Witch hat on Sophia? Yeah, you're right, Kong. That's the only thing it could be. Yeah. Sophia is definitely Bracer. And yeah, I think Oldius had, Witch hat from Sophia earlier as well. And that's why he was fixed immune, because the skill's not green now. Damn, Witch hat baiting me. Interesting tech. Probably not enough Tenyos as the reason. It's an okay hat. You can make some plays with it, as you saw. But it didn't really matter, because again, Lestelle is the only AoE DPS here. There's just a real big lack of synergy in the ban pick. Like, Hakeem was too focused on surviving, and it came at the cost of having no way to really kill your opponent. Oh, did Weiler not bring Tactical Treat this time? Was a mistake in there? No problem. Yeah, Mass Heal's good. Yeah, not Rag, does not kill. Weiler soldiers are very bulky. Huge HP. And at 100%, holy units have 30% damage reduction. But it doesn't... I mean, I guess Weiler has to move. Yeah, so he didn't bring 3C this time. Good, good, good. Still, probably don't need regroup. Again, Hakeem's only sort of plan this game would have been stalling out in center and outlasting. Which with the comp that he had would have been very possible. But once the T-Just gets removed, Cry'Mee Mami just has freedom to play however he'd like. No great single target threat, especially because D-Lit brought Crystal Warlocks. And yeah, Weiler's dead. AoE probably kills. Nah, never mind, yeah. No, it wouldn't kill. It wouldn't kill. 6,400. Bit out of Ahri's range. She doesn't have carbon fiber activated, which we definitely saw she had earlier, because her attack was 1,800, and then she's now at like 1,695. I'd probably just kill Weiler here. Just get the free kill. But it's okay. You don't have to. Listel is out of skills. No, never mind. Blood Dance because of Sea of Miracles. But again, the Witch Hat on Oleus. Just completely shutting down her damage. Bracer Liko. What's the problem with Listel? If you want to fight debuff, usually you're going to be using Bracer on a couple units like Florentia and Liko, because it helps them not get silenced and it gives them a lot of sustain. Which, just by running Bracer, it's a pretty natural counter to Listel. She loses a very big part of her kit. That big burst from Blood Dance. I'm just jamming. So Hakeem does have turn prio, and Weiler just barely lives. So he does have an opportunity to mass heal himself. 52 HP. Damn, all these Tenyo breezes. Damn RNG luck. I kid. So Weiler pretty much has to cast Mass Heal here. Even then, if Ahri has an AoE available, then he's probably still dead. Because likely, yeah, Ahri has Total Destruction. It's likely a Judge Talisman Ahri. It's pretty often what she's running. Yeah, you don't even have to kill Weiler right now, because Hilda has War Goddess, which means D-Lit won't do any healing. If Hakeem just had Elven Aura, the sustain on his team would have been a lot more nice. Yeah. D-Lit doesn't even attack. At least now. I think 3C should be up. Hard to say with D-Lit. Pretty hard to keep track of her. But I did. She's dead. Yeah. D-Lit versus Hilda. Not a great matchup for D-Lit. Unless you're just using D-Lit as a support. And then it's fine. But then you need ways to get past Hilda, right? If you're using D-Lit as a support, you're more so leaning on her as a healer for Gospel, for Sea of Miracles. She's not your win condition. She's enabling your win condition. And Hakeem's box just does not have a great way to do that. It's really AoE focused. So AoE is usually a pretty good answer, but I suppose he would have to consider picking other stuff that can kill them earlier, and then you don't get D-Lit, which is probably fine. So yeah. There is Desperate Prayer. Hilda's desperately attacking. And it just doesn't do enough. You probably kill Hilda here. Yeah. But it's a bit too little too late. It should be a brace for Listel. Yeah, Liko didn't want... She had Heal Reversal up. And Rewind's up. Everybody's skills are going to be back up. Ari has Act Again available. She even has Grand Cross. She's just going to Wombo. Hilda on Hakeem's side does have one turn of guards, so you still can't hit Listel. Grand Cross is going to remove the Desperate Prayers here. Listel might even die. Not quite. Yeah. Listel's a bit too bulky for that. And now Oldius just punches Hilda. Preferably not in melee if Hilda has War Goddess, because you don't want to disable Gift. And Hilda does have War Goddess. Oh, no. Guard got dispelled. And that's pretty much GG. Okay. Congratulations to Creamy Mami for advancing to round of 32. Better luck next time to Hakeem. Thank you guys for watching my stream. I might be back later to do more TSDL games. We'll see. I hope you guys have a lovely morning, and bye!